barriers that are there, the challenges that are there. There are many challenges, there are many barriers that are there. The reason why women are not into it, that can be societal, that can be cultural, that can be educational. But I feel somewhere down the line that the mindset is still, in many of the countries, in many of the regions, it's still the same, where they feel that A is only for masculine, B is only for feminine. So the most important thing is that mindset change. So how does that mindset change come in? That mindset change can only come in when there is awareness. And that awareness has to start from the school level. I'm an educator, I'm a school leader. So I introduced robotics into the mainstream curriculum, where we had robotics being taken up by students, so that there would be an integration of STEM into it somehow or the other. I ensured that I took a female teacher and not a male teacher, so that she would be a motivation for the others, for the girls in the school, because it was a co-ed school, of course, having different sessions, morning for the boys and afternoon girls. But still, at least there was some encouragement there. Then there have been cases where we have mentored, we have spoken to girls, and we've encouraged them to take this field up. So that mindset, I think it has to start at the grassroots level, and the gap has to be filled. As for the training, it has to be an ongoing process. We cannot say that, okay, we've done the training, we've created the awareness, and now it is okay. It has to, because there will always be that percentage of people who will still be unaware, who will still be there in the loophole where there is a gap. So to bridge that gap, we need to keep our trainings that are happening, encouraging and empowering women for being part of STEM and taking up STEM as a career, as in the educational field or as a business. We need to have these training sessions going as an ongoing process. Another thing is networking and professionals. We have a lot of just for today, one of my friend posted something on LinkedIn where it is for the IT. And from the talk of it, it was, like it was being addressed maybe unintentionally, not with intention, but unintentionally it was, addressed. It seemed that the post was addressed to the male who are in the IT profession to come and join the network. It could be varied reasons. So that mindset, it again comes back, boils down to the same thing, that what we, teach our children when they are young and what it is that we bring in. So networking and everything, that has to be one of the things, that there are more organizations which, come up with networking proposals and propositions for women to join up, because keeping the cultural differences or the traditional differences, there can be aspect where, some women by themselves do not feel comfortable.
Let me discuss it from another point of view.
Yes.
We women have two hats to wear. We
Yes.
have our role at home.
Yes.
And which makes us we are very tendent to keep that on the perfect level. And also we are struggling at work.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Rania.
And in the midst of all this, I think the balance is not, we cannot do the balance. We are not, we even if we are superhero women.
True, I understand.
The way will come, the scale will come down on one side.
Definitely.
I think that we have a chance nowadays with the IT technologies and the artificial intelligence, that we can make that balance, because women would prefer to stay beside their home, their children, whatever they have to do, take care of at home, and at the same time have their work progress. And I think even if COVID was a disaster, We have a say in the Arab words. It's something. If something bad, it might come with something good. We learn
Yes.
to work remotely with more ease.
Hmm.
It's not something strange now.
True.
So very easily done. We can manage all kind of our work. The only thing, if we have a site work, that's the only thing that needs us to move to the site. Other than that, I think we have the privilege of working from home and doing everything and taking care of our family, and at the same
True.
time progressing with our work, making flexible time, work time. I think this is something that we have to grab, because this is a privilege for us than men. Men tend to go out of home, work outside home. This is their
True.
concept of working, is to go outside in the morning to their office. So
True.
maybe this is a privilege that we have to grab.
No, no, definitely. I agree with you that this has been, I think, the only positive thing about COVID, that
Mhm.
we have learned how to work from home and, try to create that balance that is possible. So, as you rightly said, that yes, this is an opportunity which we should grab. But having said that, but there are some options like me, for example, if I'm in a school, I'll have to be there. There's no way that I can continuously stay at home. I have to be in school sometime. So, having
This is
said
an
that, so
example
it's very
of being
important.
at site. This is an example
Yeah.
of being at site. This is, you have to go there. Yeah.
Yes. So, when we talk about that, then we have to ensure, like I'll be talking about it in detail and at length tomorrow at my session, that we need to have those kind of policies in place which support women, which encourage women. And it's very nice to see, that governments all across the world are trying and doing their best to get inclusivity where the women, don't have to feel that, okay, now if I have to go for my maternity leave, then I have this kind of an issue, where my pay package gets affected, my working hours, finding a different balance between joining back after the maternity leave of 45 days has now gone to 60, some it has gone to 90 days. So these kind of policies that are coming in, this will also, I think, help women take
Yeah.
a bolder step and encourage them that, that it is not impossible to do it. It is possible, provided we are able to manage and have our support and environment that is conducive to this kind of uh, growth.
Yes, sure. And I think from this point we can answer the first part of the discussion, that the training that we need, the students at school to have, and to make it very easy to use, is the IT skills.
Yes.
So that it's not very, boys like to work with the um, with the games and everything, so they are very skilled with it. So why not the girls have IT skills, which that can be advanced by well, by the on the years where they grow, for their college, and then afterward the work, so that it's something easy for them to manipulate for their benefit. So I
True.
think the
I,
IT skills, the IT learning, I think it's the key word.
yes, that is very important that they get into the IT. And I was just going through doing some research on my presentation for tomorrow. So I got to know that only 17 in the Europe, only 17% of the women are into the ICT, which itself, lets us get a hang of the picture. It gives us a picture of where the scenario is and how big the
Yes.
gap is. It's a big task. It is not that it cannot be done, but yes, of course, it has to be a concerted and a conscious effort towards moving towards empowering women to take up this part of the
You know,
education.
I wanted to when Srividhi Sukumar,
Yeah.
yeah, when
Yes.
in your presentation on the first page, there were the three gurus of the IT.
Yeah, basically,
They
yeah.
were all men. So when
Okay.
when is the time that we can find
That we are going to have a female there. Yeah, that's
female
very true.
guru sitting
Very
on
true.
that presentation? Yes, this is when I think this is the time when we will feel confident that we have this tool in our hand. I think
Very
so.
true. I totally agree with you.
Okay. This is the first thing it came to me when I saw this the first page, that it's all men, it's dominant, it's dominated by men. So we don't have a chance yet. Again, before leaving this point, the medium or the length of the training, advantages and disadvantages of the training and mentoring. Uh, what other ideas do you have about that? We reached the point that the IT training is crucial, and that is have to start from the young age. Do you have anyone have more ideas about that?
Thank you, Ms. Rania, and thank you, Madam Anita, like for your conversation which I was listening to. It's quite true that we need to really equip ourselves with the IT skills. But you know, like IT that we have been talking out for over a millennium now. We are all called as millennials, in other words. So the future, if we are going to look into, it's more kind of green skills. The greens, as somebody mentioned, like the word, I think the last speaker, she did
Yes,
mention that the other factor which I would like to mention is on sustainability. So when
yes,
we talk about IT and being sustainable, being competent for the future, when we talk about the future, so it's going to be the green skills, which refers to the abilities and the knowledge and the competences and the that individuals can develop and contribute for any kind of sustainable practices and the environmental conservation which is involved in it. Be it a global economy that we're talking about, or the sustainability, or other any other various factors that we would like to contribute for. So the improvement or the inculcation of the green skills are going to have being in vogue. It will definitely support and it will make the whole thing inclusive as we are talking about gender equality in the sense like the word empower that is more synonymous of exactly what we're talking about. It's male power into the women, that is M. It's not em, it's empower, that is male power in women, which is, we call it as empowerment in women. With that, if we are able to empower women on more kind of environmental awareness, resource management means exactly what they are capable of doing it, what they have within themselves. If they're going to look into that particular competency or the skills that they have imbibed in, work on that and then bring it as any kind of entrepreneurship or any kind of capacity building project towards waste management or water conservation or any energy efficiency. These are things which are going to help the two balances, the two parts of the sustainable project that we're talking, the green skills that we're talking about, with all the sustainable practices in place, be it renewable energy or eco-friendly products, anything that they can take into, so that we will be able to, I think that will really put us on track when it comes to the current trends and opportunities of job creation. Instead of that, we are no more going to be job seekers, as you know the projections, as Dr. Anita was mentioning. Exactly, for instance, like the projections across the globe, around 24 million new jobs could emerge environmentally in the friendly sectors by 2030 by these green skills. So this emphasizes the demand for the skilled workers in the areas of maybe renewable energy or sustainable agriculture, or when it comes to, when we talk about the AI, that is integration of the technology, the convergence of these green skills with the technological advancements such as artificial intelligence, machine engineering, or machine learning will totally reshape and the whole landscape of the job opportunities. So the professionals, the women professionals can leverage these technologies to enhance these sustainable practices, which will be in highest demand, basically. Last but not the least, as we have our Coursera, edX, etc., sharing best practices, educational resources, all these things that we are already good at. Why not we take over the platform more at with all power, take it to the country or take it to the community, being good teachers and educators. As such, we will be contributing more to the corporate responsibility in the sense like as we are talking about C-suite roles for women. Companies will hire us and will give more importance to women in decision making processes. As another speaker was mentioning, is women involved in the decision making process? So when we equip ourselves, when we imbibe all these skills which are required for the future, definitely people will be given more opportunities and we will be marching towards the sustainability projects. Hope everybody will agree with me. Thank you.
Yes, yes, I agree. I totally agree with you. Yes. Okay. Um, yeah. So I think we we can move on to the second point, which is also very interesting. Policy changes need to support women in STEM, balancing work, life, and strategies for increasing female participation in STEM fields. This is something that has to be it's the focus of structural changes required within institutions. The policies need to be created for more equitable workspace. We need to explore what's the necessary policy changes to support women in STEM and to tackle the important issue of balancing work with personal life and discuss strategic measures to increase the female participation in STEM fields. How can even if the policy structure is not directly in our hands, as we say now, it's mainly male dominant. So how can we impose this, even if it's not officially done, but make up a policy, impose this policy in the workspace? For how can that be done? Maybe I think the remote working policy, that it's even remote working is considered full-time working, because remote working is always considered part-time or by hour. So I think remote working need to be considered by employers that it's a full-time job. I think this is one of the or starting these concepts to be encouraged within the workspace. So what else do you have ideas for these kind of policies, or how to achieve them? You know that. Mm-hmm.
Anybody else would like to take it up? Otherwise,
okay. Okay. Yes, I would like to add something.
yes.
All right. So, in addition to what you have said, I fully agree that for the remote work, it needs to be viewed as, something that is permanent, full time, instead of just allowing the hybrid model. There can be there can be policies in place. So even if organizations are not fully ready to develop a policy, you can have guidelines, all right? So you can have guidelines with regards to, okay, how to make the workplace more inclusive for females. So after examining these guidelines, seeing how effective they can be, then of course, when it comes down to developing the policy, you would have already have had the guideline in place. So it will be easy to implement that guideline into a policy. So you test the guidelines first, see how effective it would be. Then when you need to put that policy in place, just look for the gaps, see the areas where it needs to be more inclusive, and then implement that policy. Because most organizations, you will find that they are a bit timid in terms of implementing a policy, right? And in terms of being inclusive, a lot of organizations are still, I would say, just testing the waters. And this is just based on research and, in my overview as a DEI expert, right? So I have noticed that it is still in the testing phase, but this does not require that organizations still be exclusive. So we are moving towards being inclusive. So what they need to do is just to examine the guide, implement something, set a guideline there so that nobody is excluded. So set the guidelines, then you identify the gaps, see the areas where inclusion needs to be improved, and ensure that women are able to move towards equality. And I have to say move towards equality because if we're to be realistic, it is going to take some time. But if we cement that in the organization like this, listen, this is part of our branding, this is part of our mission and goals and values, etc. This is part of the company culture. We can make this happen. So it goes back to having executive buy-in, ensuring that, for example, the board of directors are supportive of this. So it starts from the top and then it fuels down to the organization. But if you don't have persons at the top who are supportive of this, you will find out that, hey, it's just something that's implemented, but it's never effective. So it can be done, once everyone in the organization, once the top level supports it, it is something that definitely can be done. Apart from that, you have, for example, resource groups. So women in organizations, they can support each other through resource groups, share information. Maybe it's just how to handle stress. Suppose you're working hybrid, how to handle stress management tips. You have women who are caregivers as well as they are also working full time in a job. So resource groups, it can be effective in many ways. Workshops, empowerment sessions are just to name a few. But once we have everyone really supporting each other, then it definitely can be done. All right, thank you so
Yes, I
much.
agree. That's very good ideas. Yes. And I think we have to shift the norms that the remote working is not an exception for women only. It can be for all gender, and it can be flexible according to this person, either women or man, availability. So I think if this concept is more generalized, I think yes, what Alison has said can be gradually introduced into the workplace.
Yeah, if I can add on with this, as you were mentioning, the flexible work arrangements and the inclusive recruitment practices, as Madam Allison was mentioning, and also the mentorship and the networking programs with the resource groups, etc. Two things that I would like to add on from my side, if I'm allowed to. One is supporting family care, because policies should allow the flexible spending of child care or even the elderly people care, because these kind of responsibilities are really being tagged and labeled for women. So if we have some policies to support the family care, so this will really help on spending valuable time with the child care and the elderly care and alleviate some pressure that the women face. particularly when attending conferences like this and also pursuing career advancement in some cases. So another one which I would like to add on is that when we talk about the C-suite cases, C-suite posts or the designations for women in the sense like a decision-making category, I mean the elite category of professionalism, which in other words, it's like when we talk about, when we include an institutional report card with gender equality, that will help to evaluate organizations based on the practices and promote accountability without any gender bias. In the sense, a percentage of how many people, women employees or the women employees contributed for this project, how many male employees contributed for this project. When we going to generate such a kind of a report card with the gender equality, in the sense like when it comes for appraisal, it will definitely contribute towards institutional accountability such that these evaluations will help funding in the sense like paying all of our women employees who are there much in par with the male employees. Hope I think people will agree with me. All our counterparts will agree with me, and that's what.
Okay. Yes, that would be very nice to see.
I would just like to add over here, Rania, that it should become, as Ms. Srividhya rightly said, that it has to become a culture of the organization. It should not be a one standoff thing. It has to become a culture where this is happening, and along with whatever the organizations are doing, I think even at the home front, on the home front, I think men need to be also told that it is okay to do the chores which the women do at home.
Yes.
Because somewhere down the line we tell them, no, this is not for you to do, this is not for you to do. So that I think that also should be considered, because teaching them also that okay, it's fine, and then that's how they become supportive of the women, helping them out with the chores. So then it somehow helps to balance a little bit more. But yeah, I think that is also important, equally important.
Yeah, and all these are in policies on paper,
Yes,
and document wise. If you take
yes,
20 Empower Alliance project and the report, it covers everything.
yes,
Categorization and the allotment of women, everything has been put in paper. But when it comes to implementation process, exactly, that even as the other madam was rightly mentioning, even women employees sitting in par with the male, that becomes a big normally Madam Anita will not have the problem because she's going to lead the session, so she will be the principal and other people have to be included. Whereas in other cases, like when you work as CEO and CFO for firms, inclusion in that particular decision making meeting becomes a question whether we need to include this person or not, just because of gender disparity which is there, which is so prevalent.
Yes, sure. Continuing on what Anita was saying, that as a culture that man has to do the home courses, I think that part comes to us as female, because
Yes.
we raise those children on this. So I think we have this in our hand, because if we raise the boys and girls that they are equal in the course to do their job at home, I think they will be raised up as men, taking their part at their homes equal to their wives there.
Actually, to be on the lighter side, if you allow me to add something, I would like to add here. In the sense, when we talk about empowerment, definitely women need not be empowered at all because we are already empowered. When you think about morning cup of coffee or tea, we are making our own cup of tea or coffee. But when it comes to the other person in the house, I mean our own husbands, they are looking forward to us for the cup of tea or coffee. So that's the actual status of women, men over there. I'm not against men, but it's actual thing. So we don't need to be empowered. We're already empowered, actually.
Yes, yes, that's true. Okay, before moving to the next point. Anyone would like to add to this part of the policies and how to the structure at the workplace?
I would like to, because I could see that participants are almost all females except Mr. Khalid. Professor Khalid, we don't have anything against men. It's just a session which is going on. We are trying to contribute our points, our insights. No hard feelings there, Mr. Khalid, please. Thank you.
No, Mr. Khalid is a really a person who advocates for women empowerment,
Yeah.
and he always talks about it. I have been on many platforms with him, there also, and I've always heard him talking and advocating, that how women need to be empowered, and it does a lot good, I think, because somewhere down the line, not bragging about women empowerment of women, I think it is about that women by natural their instincts for managing is excellent.
Yes.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
So we can move to the next point in the discussion. We like to encourage you to share your experience and learn from each other's success stories and challenges. So if there is a challenge that you have faced throughout your career and or success story you would like to share with us, please do. And because as like the last participant, Agrima, she told us how, or she told us her story from when she was a little girl and how she made her dream come true, and then tried to helping other girls as well. So this was very inspiring. So would you like to share how did you reach this position that now you are talking or saying what you want in this platform that we are discussing?
What's the time limit to Ms. Rania? That's the key point. Because I'm sure each one of us will have stories and stories to share.
Yes.
And I think you should fix a timeline.
Just the
And
main,
always keep a bell with you.
just the main line, so that we are always kept excited to know more in other workshops and platforms.
Right. Okay. So, as goes my tagline, like people who know me, they know that I have created my own tagline for myself, saying Srividhya means this. It's that celebrate every single moment of your life so as to evolve as self, community, and terrain. In the sense, like any change that you want to see in your community, that begins with you, and you are the change. And in the sense, like we don't need to worry about the external factors, or even it's me who is going to bring the change forward, if at all. And if from the thought, I'm going to put forth an action with my own hands, and I'm going to bring it forward to in front of me. So that's the reality that I look at, and I take it forward. That's why I say that celebrate every single moment of your life so as to evolve as self first, bring the change in you first, take it forward to the community, take it forward to your family, from the family, and it goes to the community, from the community, it goes to the nation, and then goes on to the international level. And we have got n number of examples in the community and the country, and also across the globe for this. And I'm sure everybody will agree with me. And as that we know, I'll be really running short of time if I'm going to talk something, because I am actually a Hindu Brahmin girl who was raised with 5 boys. I have not stepped out of my house until I reached college. Even my college, my university, my dad used to drop me and pick me up. That's how I was bred. But after the wedlock, the first day when hats off to my husband. I don't have anything against him, definitely. He's given me full liberty to explore myself. And whatever you see today, and it's just because of him, I would say. And I would dedicate the whole thing for him, because he has given me full kind of liberty, freedom, exploration, anything Anything that is, go do it, go do it, you can do it, you can do it. And that you can do it has driven me so far. That's what I feel. Sure. Thank you.
Okay, that's very inspiring. And again, there is your male has been part of your success. So again, as you said, it's something that it's not one advancing the other. It's a cooperation actually.
Yes, very
So
true.
yes, yes. And does anyone want to share with us? Briefly the success or a challenge they face until they reach this stage of life or success. Okay. Uh, I think I can briefly say about myself that I also was raised with one boy, my brother, and but one person who always gave me a back, a push or on my back. That my father. He was always treating me equal as my brothers. So even when I graduated from school and thought about college, the choices for me was not a girly thing, but something for design and decoration, not engineering. He encouraged me to go into engineering. And at first, I didn't, maybe I thought it was a big struggle. And then when going through the thing, I enjoyed it actually. I think that studying engineering have created my personality that I'm in now, and it's always reflecting on me, on my whole life until now. My community, my friendship, my personal life. So I think yes, we cannot say that men can empower, but they can have an encouragement. I think it's a cooperation. So in order not to wait for them to give us the space, we can do it ourselves.
Yes.
Just cooperating with them, that that gives us the sense of encouragement to do so. So if they see in us any progress or intentions, good intentions to progress in life, I think they will give a hand in this. I don't think anyone would like to suppress a woman to go in her progress in life, whatever she would like to do. And I think that's it. That's it for the discussion for the roundtable.
Thank you.
I'll try to share it with you by email.
Yeah. And my request is that I always believe in something. Coming together is only a beginning that we have done today on this platform. Staying together is success. Working together, staying together is a process. Working together is success. So let's collaborate. Let's get united in whichever platform it is, LinkedIn or Insta or Facebook or wherever it is. Hello, we are missing you. Please join us.
We'll take another picture then.
Meetings going on,
Yeah, still going on. Just imagine.
Sometimes.
So let's start collaborating. Let's start working together. And Professor Khalid is my very good friend. Like almost every single conference that I take up, I take Dr. Professor into that. And I would like to work with all of you basically. And Dr. Renuka is one of the greatest inspiration whom I've known. Like, thank you, Dr. Renuka, for giving this wonderful opportunity. Definitely, it's I think we should start working together and always under the golden umbrella of Dr. Renuka, definitely. Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
looking forward to that also. Srividhya, I think we are in UAE, so we should catch up,
Yes, we can. We can always.
and then we can think of something and
Can I
plan
ask a
something where
question?
we engage Miss Renuka, Dr. Renuka also to come and join us.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
always
I
say
heard someone had a question in
for
between.
doing this discussion.
Yeah.
My
Someone had a question in between, ma'am.
Yeah. Hey, this is here. So for tomorrow, so you guys, what are you guys having for tomorrow?
Tomorrow we
Excellent
have a
question.
session, another session starting. Let me check. It will be tomorrow's 10 o'clock UK time.
yeah, and we will finish by 3 tomorrow.
Finish by 3.
Yes.
UK time.
So that's like 6 o'clock in the morning. 6 o'clock in Los Angeles.
That's quite early.
I'm in Los Angeles, so that's why I can't join that.
Maybe Louis
Yeah.
can send your recorded speech, then we can play for you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just have, well, actually, I heard all you guys talking about the last hours, talk about the woman empowering. So, I just want to give you 5 cents if I'm not able to join it tomorrow. So, I mean, to me, because I work with a lot of women educator, scientists. So, because I feel like actually, most of the educator is dominated by women in some. Scientists is a little bit different. It's kind of in between. But again, my family actually engage with more female educator, and I think it's mostly is they told me is that they choose to be more educator because they more close to children, and then they feel like they can nurture the kids better than male, and that's what they mostly choose for that. So that's interesting. But I guess male has a little bit different thought process when it comes to like teaching kids and stuff. So to me, I think it's really someone talked about as early education is very important, especially for women empowering. I think it is very important because at the early age, I have studied some like brain development, so it is really tell you how the kids really sudden connection on thinking about brain development, about what area they should go study, which area they should not go study because of the male dominant or the female dominant. So it really triggered them in the future process of education or educating like which area to choose. So that really go back to the early age development and brain development particularly from age of 2 to 7 and then 7 to 14. Those periods are actually very crucial for early age development on their development future. So yeah, so I want to hear more you guys and thoughts and see I can like learn more stuff from and then understand more. So hopefully tomorrow I will join again. But yeah.
Louis, you are very right. You know, I heard one physician speaking about her area, like she is now 72, and she mentioned that in 24 years, like she started her career from when she graduated, so it was like about 24 when she was 24, and when she was 42, she said we were able to make a report saying that we have now women in physics department. We have doubled the number of women in physics department. That was the report showing, telling. But you know how many people were there? 2, because she was the one and the one was added. So you are right that traditionally we would always say And even in the stories, even in the cartoons, even in anywhere, even in literature, if it is a teacher, if it is a nurse, it will be woman. But now we see the change. We also see men nurse, which is really good. Still, it may not be common in developing countries, but here it is common to see a men nurse. And that is changing. You know, there was a study last year, there was a study on how the literature or how the stories affect the children. And even children, then they go to their family, like their mom and someone, oh, I saw a teacher today who was male in my room. I mean, I'm in my school. And they're surprised to see male as a teacher because they always imagine that the teacher is a woman. So you are very right. And this needs to be changed, you know, like we have now in UK, 23% of women in construction, which is good, on the site, which is again good. So these are the things we have to make a change. Thank you.
And then also, it's also the policy. The policy have the big impacts. Like in America here, oh, the government really not like promoting like a female empowering, you know, that much, you know. So it has a set of mind. I think in different government and policy has a different route than other countries. So the American obviously is more favored by the male dominant, especially come to politician, you know, many labor work or IT or tech stuff. So, and it really needs to be changed to be more equal. But this is something the policymaker has to, you know, get through all the hurdle. Yeah, it's
We'll
really
see.
not that easy.
We'll see soon in the presidential who will become a president, a woman or a man.
Oh,
So
no,
the US.
I don't even want to think about it.
Very true picture, you know.
So I think that's a big test.
always
That's
women are
scary
celebrated
test.
as a hero if they do something,
Yeah.
you know. And why?
Yes.
It should be a common picture, but we talk about women as a hero if they do something, and that is what it is. Also not really a good picture of our society. It should be common.
No.
Yeah, it should be common. Yeah, you are very right. You know, what I identified in Germany, if a woman is a vet and if she is pregnant, because of the high risk of women being pregnant and in contact with animals, they are given 2 years of maternity leave. And then after 6 months, they are allowed to gradually get into the work. So we should have such policy to empower women. We should take some risk of those productivity and all that matters, you know, and allow some flexibility. Otherwise, whereas here in UK, we have only 6 months maternity leave. My daughter had to go back in 6 months for after maternity leave. And okay, it is good that they are giving now parental leave for 5 months, so they are able, like a child is able to stay with their parents. But still, you should, like, for people who are going into say shops and work from 9 to 5, they hardly allow them some time for breastfeeding and
Yes.
so on, and even they are given just 2.5 months of leave or maximum 5 months of leave. So these all things matter.
The policy, inclusive policy making is very important. Only then that parity will come into place. Otherwise, there will always be that disparity.
Yes, and in policy making arena,
Yeah.
and in policy making arena, there are male dominating people.
Yes.
So
That's what that should be
they
more
don't get
as
the
a
idea of what
Srividhya was
woman is
saying,
going through.
That's
for the decision
That's a big
making, there
problem.
has to be women in it.
Dr. Renuka, I would like to have a mention over here. The country where we are, me and Anita ma'am is from, the least paid profession is teacher. That too, a female. If it's a male, then there is a variation in the pay also.
I agree.
Yes.
That's
Yes, it's common everywhere.
That's a
only
shame.
only few countries have been.
It
well,
stems
it's
from
common
there. It stems from there. Exactly.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
we-
I think we can close this session now. Is that okay, or is there still burning points? Anyone?
No, I
We'll
think
hold-
thank you so much. It was a
we'll
very
have
nice
some
discussion.
tomorrow.
You know, hearing everybody out, lovely roundtable that we had. I hope the recording is shared, you know, so that if we want, we can share it on our social media also.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Renuka.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
you all tomorrow.
Live stream
See you
from
tomorrow.
Main thanks
See you
goes
tomorrow.
she is the architect of this whole workshop. Okay. So
Oh,
everything,
Thank you, Ms.
Nice to meet you,
and
Rania.
Professor Yasser as well,
Thank you.
giving his full support to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Chalo, bye-bye. Have a good
Thank you,
evening, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Dr.
Bye.
Renuka, on which media it is live stream? Facebook or YouTube?
No, this focus group is not live stream. We kept it just
Recorded.
recording because we thought that anyone can give their personal ideas and so on. Other things are live stream, and we will share that soon.
Live stream, no?
Yeah, the other things which we did.
I agree, but which media?
Which media?
YouTube or Facebook?
No, it's on GSFN website. So
Yes,
you will find
YouTube.
on YouTube as well.
YouTube.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Tomorrow morning.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
See you
Good
tomorrow morning.
morning.
Bye.
Good morning.
Goodbye. Thank you. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank
See
you, Dr.
tomorrow.
Renuka. Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Rani.
you.
Thank you. That's
Bye.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Madam Anita. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye.